everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Expose, along with
Matt Tim.
Today is Sunday, April 23rd, 2023, and yes, that is Jersey time. We are still here in New Jersey, and today's weather, it started out rainy today, and then the sunshine, but we got big fat clouds up, but the sunshine's still going through. Temperatures in I guess the mid 60s right now. So anyway, we got an update on one of our well-trained professional heroes here in Monmouth County. You know, the type that are always out there. I mean, I'm telling you, they're always out there risking our lives
To protect and serve themselves.
every day to protect. No, you're wrong. To protect and serve the government. The only thing that they protect is their pension. Remember that, people. That's the one thing for sure I know police officers do. The bad ones, they will rat out their fellow officers if they have to choose between the blue line and their pension.
If they have to choose between the blue line and their line,
Exactly.
they're going to choose their bottom
They'll throw
line.
their wife, the chief, everybody on the table when it comes to their pension. So anyway, this has to do with a Wall Township police sergeant. I did a story on this not too long ago. Apparently this sergeant is a psychopath, and psychopaths are people who operate normal during the day. You think they're heroes, they're wonderful people, but when you're not watching them, they're out there doing very bad stuff. And they do this without any empathy. They have no, they're like a chocolate Easter bunny, hollow on the inside. They have no sense of guilt or remorse. So this has to do
John,
with
is this NJ Exposed or is this the Matt and John self-help show?
well, what the hell? We're trying to lighten it up a little bit today. Matt took me out for a nice lunch. I think he drank some cappuccino. He turned into the great cornholio today.
I'm not putting the shirt over my head.
I'm pretty wound up on iced tea myself because I had it for breakfast and I had it for lunch. So anyway, this has to do with a Wall Township cop who was arrested for theft by deception. He stole money, $75,000 from his local PBA. Anyway, he was writing checks and things out to himself, buying all kinds of things, and he never stopped and asked himself, is there a paper trail here? Who has access to the money? So I'm going to read you. So what has happened is they gave him some more charges. They failed to give him the charge of stupidness, because I've been saying this for how many years now. They got to put stupidness on the books, and you have to be absolutely stupid to do what he did.
Can we call it the Jen Combs statute?
Oh, please. She's not stupid. She's, well, anyway, that's a different video. Additional charges filed against Wall Police Sergeant accused of PBA thefts. There's the story.
He stole from his own, John?
Stole from his own.
He stole from his brother.
Well, wait when I tell you all the things that he stole and what he did.
Goddamn shame.
It's just sickening what he's doing. Additional criminal charges have been filed against the Wall Township Police Department sergeant accused of stealing more than $75,000 from his local Police Benevolent Association chapter. Monmouth County Prosecutor Raymond S. Santiago announced Friday. And let me just say, a big thumbs up to Wall Township, because they post this prosecutor's press release. They posted it yesterday, day before. That's how I happened to find it. They posted it on their Facebook page. They are not hiding in their office, not hiding under their desk. They're not like Seabright Police where they're making pretend nothing ever happened. They came right out and they owned up to it. So I have respect for them for that. James R. Cadigan, 41, is charged with second-degree official misconduct, third-degree theft by deception, third-degree theft by unlawful taking, fourth-degree falsifying records, in addition to the original charge of second-degree theft by unlawful taking. An investigation into Cadigan's activities was initiated last year by McPoe Professional Responsibility and Bias Crime Bureau upon receipt of a referral by the Wall Township local PBA. So his own PBA turned his ass in when they caught wind of it, which was discovered a significant amount of cash proceeds was missing from the following PBAs. Now get this, I thought it was a misspelling, from a pig nick. So it's a play on words, picnic, pig nick. An annual summertime barbecue fundraiser. Sergeant Cadigan was solely responsible for orchestrating and running the event in 2022 and in many preceding years. The PBA annually donates proceeds from the event to various charitable organizations, which I think is great. In addition to confirming that a significant amount of cash was missing from the picnic proceeds, the investigation revealed that starting at least in 2018 and each year thereafter, Cadigan made numerous unauthorized cash withdrawals from multiple PBA bank accounts. How many bank accounts does the PBA need?
Who the heck knows?
And wrote checks himself and cash from these accounts. It was determined that Cadigan would make these withdrawals both while on and off duty, and that's the key right here. Remember that, on and off duty. Sometimes in street clothes and other times in his full police uniform.
John, did it say how many checks he made? He wrote out to himself?
Well, I guess he made...
It said multiple, right?
Multiple.
Huh.
And, you know, here's the deal. This is why I say he should get stupidness as a charge. Because this is a paper trail. You give your check to the bank. They run it through that thing. It scans a picture of it.
Well,
and they have a record of it.
I've got my own take on this. I'm forming some ideas.
All right, let me go. As the investigation continued, it revealed that from February 2020 to November 2022, in his capacity as president of the All American Youth Football, oh, he's hanging around kids now too. What else is going on? I'm not saying anything. You guys make your own determination. He's hanging around kids.
Sergeant Sticky Fingers, huh?
Sergeant
Sticky Fingers.
Pocket Fisherman? I don't know. Anyway, we don't know that for sure. It's a red flag. When I ever see cops out there doing things to juveniles, you know, based on what's been going on these days, in these days and times. Cadden was also used a debit card intended for purchase that benefited the organization to purchase approximately $20,000 worth of items for his own personal use. So let's see, what do you have here? I was taken by the one item he bought. Such items include pool pumps, okay, and chemicals. So he's having pool parties. Maybe he's got some badge bunnies coming over. Doesn't say if he's married or not. A quilted hammock, okay, so after he gets done with the pool, he can lay back and drink a few beers. A boot warmer. Huh, a boot warmer. I think, what a boot warmer? That's those packets. You break them together and they get warmed. I know they got glove warmers out there.
He must have found a really good one, huh?
Wow. What do you need that for? His feet getting cold on the job or something? Let's see what else. A quilted hammock, a truck hitch, okay. This is when it gets me. Now for something completely different. A karaoke machine. I haven't run karaoke. I'm just like, I don't do it anymore. A karaoke machine, a weight sled trainer. Oh, that's that thing you go like this, right? You go back and forth? Yeah.
Like a rowing machine.
Yeah. Quilted truck hitch, karaoke machine, a weighted sled trainer, a boot warmer, an inflatable movie screen,
an inflatable movie
grill tools, and accessories, a pressure washer, backyard and holiday decorations, and accessories for tapping and serving a drab. It sounds to me like the guy was buying stuff to have a damn party. Who was going to that party? Obviously the PBA members weren't going, or maybe they were, and that's gross suspicion, but I suspect he was entertaining badge bunnies, because you know how they are with these, you know how these badge bunnies are. An investigation also received facts constituting the basis of 2 additional criminal charges. First, Cadigan did not apply for a required license for a 50-50 raffle. All right, so what, 50 went to him, 50 went to the PBA?
I think that they're getting very petty, John. That's just my take.
What's the difference? If you and I did it, what do you think would happen if it was petty?
No, but my whole point is we don't know, for example, if he used, like I'll give you an example, some of this stuff was charged and actually used for a union function, and then they decided and then he just kept it after the fact.
Held for a 22
that makes sense.
Picnic, instead falsifying the license number for the raffle tickets, and second, he organized Powerpuff football game involving mothers of AYF football players. Oh, badge bunnies of football players? With approximately $3,000 proceeds earmarked for donations to a breast cancer awareness and prevention charity, but instead pocketed the money for himself. You imagine that? He made $3,000 and was supposed to go to cancer research or help cancer victims, and he kept it for himself. This case is being prosecuted by the Monmouth County Assistant Prosecutor Melanie Falco. Blah, blah, blah. He's being represented by Mitchell J. Ansell, Esquire.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. That's the bad cop go-to lawyer. Anyone with information, call. Convictions are on secondary criminal charges can be punishable by up to 10 years in state prison. We know that won't happen.
No.
While third-degree charges are commonly punishable by terms of up to 5, a conviction of official misconduct carries a mandatory 5-year period of parole, blah, blah, blah. So here's my take. Here's what I think's happened, because this happened to a police officer in Long Branch a while back. He stole $85,000. He had to pay the $85,000 back. He had to go to the court with a bank check and pay the $85,000, and he got, I think it was 2 years probation. But ironically, what it's discussing, at the same time that police officer stole that $85,000, there was a treasurer of the Bradley Beach Fire Department who embezzled $40,000 or $45,000 out. It's all at the same time. It's all basically the same damn thing, only one had more money. One was more than the other, and one was a cop. She got 3 years in prison. She had to pay the $45,000 back and 3 years in prison, while that other jerk off, that other blue line douchebag, got no jail time. So
I'm gonna tell you something.
So anyway, what I think is going to happen, they're going to plead this thing down. He's going to lose his job, no doubt about that. And he's not going to do any jail time. He's going to have to bring the $85,000 in. He'll have his lawyer read an apology letter. And
I don't know in this case. I don't. And here's why. They wrote that plethora list, right?
Yeah.
Of all of these items, okay? You're not going to tell me, okay, that at least not some of those items weren't used in union functions. Do you agree with that? That some of them probably were.
When I read the thing about pool, having stuff for the pool and the hammock and the grill and all that stuff.
Union function.
Well,
or get together.
I guess he'd have to show a pattern of the PBA guys coming over and hanging out with badge bunnies and have.
Or they could have a retirement get together.
I suspect they were drinking beer and they had porn playing up on the big screen there. I don't know if it was porn, but.
Or they could have.
But knowing what I know about these heroes, these wanted fake heroes, six-figure-a-year heroes.
I think the charges were exaggerated.
That they have a little problem with their private parts, okay, and they can't keep it in the pants. So maybe he got all those things so they could have parties there and badge bunnies would show up. And so yeah, I think he'd have to show a pattern of using it for the PBA. But then I think that he'd have to prove that he got approval for it.
Well, if they gave the guy a debit card for expenses. I've been in positions and work positions where I've had a work credit card or a work debit card. And what that signals to me is that he had some level of autonomy or discretion in his purchases.
Yeah, but if my boss at work says, John, I need you. I have to do his accent.
John!
He's from Brooklyn. John! Anyway, he says, I had to go on a long run, say 300 miles, go pick up transport a body back to the funeral home.
All right.
So he would give me his credit card. Now the purpose of the credit card is in case I break down, and it pays for my lunch. I could stop and get lunch. It doesn't mean, here's the credit card, go stop at Walmart and get yourself a grill.
No, but I'll give you an example. Okay, you go to pick somebody up, right?
Yeah.
And now there's complications, and now I need to spend another $2,000 on moving equipment to get the body back to Jersey.
Yeah, but would you not go back to the person you answer to and say, hey, look, I had a little problem, I had to buy $2,000 worth of stuff?
In your case with the boss, probably yes, but if you're a treasurer...
No, in this case here.
If he's a treasurer for a union, John,
Right, but he's got to answer to somebody. He can't
to the union
if they're just allowing him to buy shit willy-nilly and do what he wants, then they have no business charging the guy and complaining.
That's right, but it does certainly sound, at least in a way, that they were unhappy with his performance as a union treasurer, and they felt that he stepped over the line.
And there's got to be board members there or something. Yeah. You're not just going to have a treasurer.
Your local president, your delegate, your vice president of the PBA.
So he's got to convey to them he's doing. And now they're also at fault. This has been going on since 2018. Didn't anybody ever sit down and look at the books? Didn't the accountant ever say, hey, what are these expenditures here? I have to look how we're going to write them off.
What I think that this case comes down to, and this is the type of case that should be tried. And here's why. Okay, I think that they felt at some point in time that the expenses were questionable, And then finally they said, okay, he overstepped his discretion as a treasurer. And this is exactly why you don't want to be a treasurer for any type of organization. This is exactly why.
But doesn't somebody there sit and look at, just come in and sit down and say, oh, let me take a look at the books and say, oh, he bought a karaoke machine.
For one of our
What's that
parties.
for? You bought beer thing. What is that for?
No, I get what you're
if they
saying.
had a PBA hall and he bought the karaoke machine and he set up there and he got a big screen and he set it up there. And they had the grill to do hot dogs.
Yeah, I think that my own opinion is, and this is just me spitballing, freewheeling, but I believe firmly that most, if not all, that stuff was initially bought for PBA functions, and then he just kept the crap for his own personal benefit. Which that raises other concerns. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think from a criminal law standpoint, I don't think that this is a simple
regardless,
case.
If they go to everybody with a PBA and they say, did you give him permission to do that? No.
Well,
so what is the definition of theft? Theft by deception.
No. But the problem is it's like when we elect people. A treasurer is an elected union position, right? Like president or delegate. So when they elect him by virtue of their vote of confidence to elect him to be their union treasurer, he has a certain level of discretion, and that's what this question and that's what this case is all about. Just like the rest of these cases.
But it sounds to me like he did all these things and he didn't advise anybody to do anything.
No, he did operate. He operated
covertly. That's what.
Covertly. Exactly.
Yes.
No, exactly. I exactly agree that he operated covertly. But the question remains is, and this is something that the law doesn't want to talk about, is where does his individual discretion as a union treasurer who's been entrusted by the union constituency to make purchases and to pay bills start and stop.
Now, if he bought the grill, the karaoke machine.
Let's say he bought all that stuff for union purposes originally.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, say next week they're going to have a PBA badge money function.
Yeah.
Where they're inviting all the badge money.
We're going to have an Easter egg hunt for propaganda.
Yeah. So if he bought that grill and the karaoke machine, I mean, everything he bought sounds to me like he's having a backyard party.
Exactly, which we know these unions do.
That's possible. Yeah. That's how Jake Pascucci from Long Branch got himself in trouble. He went there and had a few to drink, and we all know how that all worked out for him. Not too good. Didn't work out good for anybody who was involved in it.
No.
So
no winners.
So his problem is that he has to show that he bought this. He has to prove that he bought this, and it sounds to me like the PBA is not going to back him up on this deal. So what I think is going to happen is going to have to pay the $85,000 back. That's the first thing he's going to have to do. And I think they'll drop the official misconduct. I think the official misconduct was a result of him writing and cashing checks while he was in uniform and possibly on the job while he did it. So that would be a problem there. But I think that's a bargaining chip. They'll all downgrade that to theft by deception. He'll get in the first offenders program, PTI, and he'll lose his job. And hopefully he won't get to keep his he's only got 10 years. He could get a 10-year pension.
Yeah, he's vested.
He's vested, but I think he'll.
But if I were in his shoes, if I were in this guy's shoes in Wall Township,
if you were his lawyer, what would you do?
I would take this case to trial in a heartbeat. I can answer that without listening. And you know what I would do? I would itemize each and every single expense, and I would justify as to whether or not it was used for a union function. Now, the problem that he stands is this. They could always amend the indictment to charge him with conversion. That's when for example, like use the example of like you're given job property it's entrusted to you, right?
Okay.
And now you keep it for yourself for personal benefits. That's conversion. They could charge him with conversion, but in terms of all these other financial charges.
So if he bought the grill and the karaoke machine and the blow up screen
and then for a union purpose, and it's used for.
But he never took it to the union and kept it at home.
Or he did use it for the union thing. Then he disposed of it by keeping it. That's
because there was a story out of South Jersey. I don't know if that was Seaside Heights down that way, where they bought a all-terrain vehicle.
I saw that.
And it never made it to police headquarters. He took it home and never brought it back. And then he got in trouble for that. Of course, I think he was just. I don't know if that was a ranking off. That's a while ago. I don't remember the full thing. I just remember he had an all-terrain vehicle that didn't belong to him. It belonged to headquarters, and he conveniently stored it in his garage. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing to see what's going to happen here with this cop. And
the application of the law to this is extremely interesting too.
Now,
and how
Wall
it plays
Township
out.
Police is relatively a clean department. The only other problem I know that they ever had, there was a dispatcher working there, and there may be some discrepancies in what I'm saying, but I think the deal was that he was not, white European, and I think he might have been batting for the other team, if you know what I mean. And they were giving him a hard time and everything, and the guy ended up suing the.
He got a settlement.
He got a settlement. I think he had to quit the job because it was essentially sexual job harassment, and they sued the department. Now the chief of police at that time, Bryce, I think his name, he's no longer there anymore. He retired, and there's a new chief in there. And basically, I don't know any. Wall Township was where I had my first running with police over a camera, because I happened to live in Wall Township on the Allenwood Circle at the time. That's where Route 34 and Allaire Road meet. And there was a traffic accident, and I bought my camera. And this is going back. This is back
10 years ago?
That's 10 years ago.
13?
2012, 2011, something like.
Ouch.
Anyway, there was an accident. And I was out there standing behind the guardrail on private property recording the going-ons. And this jarhead with a buzz cut shows up. Hey, guy, turn the camera off. I'm going to arrest you. I'm not kidding. And it spooked me because I didn't know, and I shut the thing off.
If you know what you knew now.
Oh, forget it. I tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to arrest me? Go ahead. First of all, I'm behind the rail. You don't have tape up, and I'm on private property. So go F yourself.
Let him make the arrest. You'll take the lawsuit settlement.
Exactly. I'll take that after I finish that. But so that's what started me researching about the right to film
The
in
First
public.
Amendment.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And so that was my first education to recording in public.
It was a good video. We did a good job.
And then later on, it developed into me being down at Sandy Hook and recording rangers up in the dunes with binoculars looking at naked.
And I don't think that Wall Township, like you said, I don't think that there's any systematic corruption there.
No, the only thing my only complaint with Wall Township is they're pirates. They sit on 195 every day around rush hour and just do revenue enforcement one after another.
That's right.
So anyway, I have nothing more to add
me
to
neither.
this. So we took 22 minutes of your time, people. So I'm John Van Dyke.
I'm Matt Tim.
Until next time.